that one. Really? Really? People didn't get that? Okay, I'll take a look. I am being told that I need to see some of the comments from the bolt guns are obsolete video. Thank you. Shit like this is why I fully expected if the shit hits the fan when my main gun was an FN M2447 and there ended up being bandits or raiders, I would exclusively have used that rifle in an ambush where I would get the drop on whoever it is and steal their AR. I'm sure that'll work great for you. Let's tell that, let's tell that to all the German Volkssturm kids that ended up getting obliterated by the Allies. Oh, and he continues, now that I have a Draco AK pistol, I'm a bit less worried, but want to get something in 223 as well. I'm glad you've moved up in the world from a bolt action to the worst possible semi-auto you could have gotten, except for a zip. Next guy is shouting all in caps. Good video. Not a fair matchup, though. A modern rifle against an old World War II bolt gun. That's what we said. Let's try them at long range, open sights just for fun. The semi-auto's better at long range with open sights, too. There was a reason these old bolt guns had a bayonet fixed to them. They were slow to reload in close combat. That's not a benefit. That is, in fact, the problem. Someone else says, as long as poor countries exist, nothing is obsolete. I don't think you quite understand the concept of obsolete. That Three Musketeers beard mustache is obsolete. Yes, that's why it goes so well with my bolt-action rifles. Do that with a Lee Enfield No. 4, you will cut that time by more than half. If I had to go to war with a bolt gun, the Enfield would be it. The Enfield's not as fast as you think it is, and it's also a lot more likely to malfunction than that Mauser that Carl had. I guess you can always propose the question of what bolt action is best, but they're all obsolete. That's the point. I can't say the conclusion is wrong, but the evidence presented is flawed because the user doesn't reload with a cheek weld and doesn't seem to use the barrel length. And there are 5+ magazines and scopes which fit on bolt-action rifles. You really don't get the point here. It doesn't matter what the magazine size is. A scope would actually make this problem worse, and none of this has to do with the precision of your technique running a bolt-action rifle. The best person with a bolt-action is going to be, at best, slightly behind the curve compared to pretty much the worst person with a semi-auto. We have someone here with a crying Japanese girl for an avatar who says, I mean, you could still force it into service against the government, so not 100% obsolete. You would fit right in 1945 Japan. That's exactly what they were thinking, except they said press it into service against the Americans, not the government, and it worked out great. When Russia invaded Afghanistan, they had real trouble with the Afghans armed with SMLEs. They totally did, which is why all the Afghans kept their SMLEs, and none of them decided to pick up AK-74s. It's been said that a bad workman always blames his tools. It's also been said that a good workman doesn't buy his tools from Harbor Freight. And then we have a guy, okay, this is a person I don't want to insult too much, but he lists this whole long thing of modern bolt-action rifles and then says, I know none of the above would be as fast as an AK, AR, VZ58, Mini 14, etc., 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 but I think anyone who had practiced with one and knows how to properly work a bolt action, i.e. lift and push with the palm of your hand, not with your fingers, can easily hold his own in a fight. That is exactly the point that we are trying to make in this video, or the point that we are trying to disprove in the previous video, and every two-gun match we have ever run with a bolt action. It has nothing to do with your proficiency with a bolt action. There is a fundamental difference in the capability of a semi-auto versus a bolt action that cannot in any way be overcome by the proper bolt manipulation technique or anything remotely like that. And if there are a lot of people commenting on this video thinking that, you know, well, they're fine for hunting or whatever, that's not the point we're trying to make. We're talking about military service. And someone like this last guy clearly has never actually tried timing himself. If you honestly believe that a bolt-action rifle is the equal of a semi-auto rifle in any sort of combat environment, I think you are sadly deluding yourself, or naively deluding yourself, and you should go actually try it. I'm going back to reading about obsolete bolt action rifles.